All right, Birb, let's talk about how you see the rest of the cycle playing off, because you gave me a thesis the other night, and that thesis the other night blew me away. So I really want our community to understand what your thesis is for what happens in the next couple of months.
Yeah. So basically, well, as we discussed, over the table, this was kind of like off the record, but me and I, like, we had amazing time, at Nasred over Golden State discussing my plan for the crypto, for Bitcoin, for Litecoin, for Ethereum, for altcoins, for everything over the next 2-3 months. And basically, I explained, what I'm thinking is going to happen, and that wrapped. And I just simply quit over the table, just quickly just wrapped up the tweet that ran short, right? So basically the point one is checked already. Point one, which said BTC all-time high in next few days, is checked already. The funny thing is, many people say that, even like broken clock is right twice a day, like you're a fucking moron. Like, this was 500, literally posts I made on Twitter. And funnily enough, I was here with you around and with all your beautiful Banter family, discussing how Bitcoin was on the reversal at 9 to 29,000 at $30,000 several times. It was not just like a lucky shot. This was 90-day, like 80-day plus, 90-day like extreme fear time that we were there in shows. And I basically locked in solid deals. I'm getting the low slope and a couple of low leverage dumps, and I'm very much enjoying that. So point number one is check off the list. Then you have something that I called institutional combined with retails from heart, right? So what it means is that now we have just freshly broken the highs, which is insanely amazing. We were like, sitting in the store, celebrating and chatting and like, congratulating each other. This was pretty amazing experience. But right now is where the final pump is. Like, birds heard nowhere to hide. They are just gone, right? So what is going to happen, people are going to try to short it, obviously, because people who are inexperienced, they think, okay, I missed out on a pump, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to miss out on a dump. The problem is that right now we are so packed and so ready to shoot towards like these new, 100K plus levels, that those people are going to get literally wiped out of the market for shorting and fading the most powerful breakout. They are literally just, going alone with a tiny sword against like the major army of bulls, right? So people who try to short it, they are going to end up being literal like liquidity providers to a very extreme and extremely painful extent. So on top of that, retails, I mean, those are the retail money. People like enter and are more convinced that the market is going up, the more the market goes up actually, right? So the higher they buy in, the more convenient, the more certain they are feeling about the market going up. They have no other choice. They missed out on the 3-year bull market already. So and then institutions, if you think about it, institutions are also run by people, and people make human mistakes, people make human errors, right? So what is going to happen right now is you are going to see more and more institutions joining, announcing ETFs, Bitcoin products, trading products, investment banks. JP Morgan is probably going to disclose some massive investments around the market peak. You're going to have literally every single person and institution following in Bitcoin. And because of that, you're going to also see a beautiful business opportunity for those companies. Business in a way that those people, in the tech giants like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, everything, they were waiting for confirmation from the market that the demand is ready. So now that the market is showing insane strength and readiness, for pumping, towards the new highs of approach 100,000, they are going to allow in cryptocurrency payments, because they have now just gotten confirmation from the market itself that it's time to launch the crypto payments and generate new revenue, right? They're generating and kind of like acquiring new target groups of people.
So that takes us into a Bitcoin of $150,000 to $200,000.
Exactly. This takes us to point number 4, which in my opinion is, I was giving 90 to 120,000 initially. Right now, wherever it stops, I don't have a crystal ball, of course, right? But what I personally believe is that $150 to $200,000 are quite possible, are quite likely. I'm not going to hold all my money until then. That is for sure, right? I'm going to gradually leave the market, like not to turn inactive completely, but just gradually realize the profits. So when you see Bitcoin pulling to $150 to $200,000, you see usually 40% reversal in a single day. So 40%, taken out of 50, like 150, 200,000, or even like whatever the number. This is easily going to pull like 40, 50,
When do you
$60,000 candle a day.
when do you think Bitcoin gets to 150 to 200,000?
I personally believe it's going to happen within the next 2 months, which is somewhere mid-December.
2 months.
So the way I look at it, right now we are approaching. We have just entered, and it's confirmation. We have just entered the most volatile, the final, ultimate time of the past free market. Yeah, for the past 3 years on the market. This is the final countdown. This is the final, literally game, final leg up. This is going to get more like most vertical shots you probably have ever seen across any crypto projects, altcoins,
Ever.
Bitcoin, whatever you name that.
Holy
So,
shit! Can we just give me 1 minute? Just give me a minute, please. Just I need to just give me 1 minute. Just like 1 minute. Okay, I'll tell you. Just 1 minute. 1 minute.
I got you hyped.
Yeah. Okay, carry on. I think I'm ready now. Okay, so we're getting $150 to $200,000 Bitcoin, and we're getting this $150 to $200,000 Bitcoin happening to us in the next 2 to 3 months. We get a $40,000 to $50,000 drop in 1 day.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not going to like cut straight through and we just go to zero. What it's going to do instead, it's going to pull this $40,000-$50,000 candle, and it's going to bounce back immediately. But guess what? This happens exactly on the tops. On the tops, the volatility is the highest, which means the market is not going to move in the range of $1,000, but it's going to move in a range of $50,000, right? $50,000 up, $50,000 down.
But I mean, yeah. Listen. If we're at 200,000 and we move back 20% in a day, 25% in a day, it's not something that we haven't seen before. Like, it's not okay. Cool. So we got on 20%. We've seen that shit before.
Yeah, you're right. And that's
when
exactly
does alt season start? Birb, when does alt season start? Because you've got that as point number 6. It says ultimate alt season. Does that happen after the correction or before the correction?
Exactly. So first of all, the peak is going to bring like a lot of complacency. So people who join on the very peak, there will be the most of them. Majority always joins on the peak. Those people, are going to buy literally a perfect top, and the market is going to pull this 40-50 candle drop. So this is going to keep them even more complacent. They will be like saying, okay, this is just a regular correction, okay? Like they will, of course, be very frightened and scared, like to death, but they will have no other choice but believe the market is going to bounce back. But because of the nature of the volatility and for the how financial markets work, it's going to bounce back, but it's never going to break the high anymore. And whatever the number is, if it's 150, 200, or I don't know, any other number you come up with. And if the moment that the Bitcoin drops, the altcoins are going to take a massive hurt as well, right? They're going to bleed a lot. But after this bottoms, happen in tandem for Bitcoin and altcoins, Bitcoin is going to never reach the new highs, and altcoins are going to start absorbing the capital.
When you say never, whoa, just stop. When you say never, you don't mean never.
I have no idea. For never, basically, I mean this cycle, right?
Okay, this
cycle for the Bitcoin,
okay.
For the peak market. So this will mean that altcoins are going to absorb the volatility, are going to slowly absorb the capital. I was explaining to you, and to your friends over the table, that when you spill the milk across the table, it takes time to spread, right? And when it spreads kind of like equally in a way, or just, it just spreads across the table. That is it. So the milk is the money and the table is the markets. So the capital leaving Bitcoin is going to spread across the altcoins, and the altcoins are extremely low priced against Bitcoin because of the dominance. I mean, dominance is a natural effect index showing off what happens with altcoins, and altcoins have been sold off by the people who FOMO into Bitcoin. So when that happens, you will literally see Bitcoin never reaching the highs again within the cycle, and altcoins taking over from there. And
Okay.
the market is going to be so pumped by institutions, so pumped with money, that the altcoins are going to pop like never before. I call it 2017 on steroids. That is easy.
And when does that happen, Birb?
So I do believe it's going to start slowly, like accelerating, sloping up more and more aggressively from mid-November. I don't expect, like, Bitcoin is now going to be the king, right? Altcoins against BTC are going to like take a massive hit because the process is going to continue for people to drop off their altcoins in order to buy Bitcoin, right? To chase the pumps. So when that happens, altcoins are going to get more and more undervalued, right? So whenever Bitcoin pumps against USD, altcoins are going to pump against USD as well, or at least remain stable for some time, right? Because if you have the superposition effect, BTC USD goes up, altcoins BTC go down. So we have either sideways on altcoins USD as a superposition or slightly upwards movement, depending on which side of the
Okay.
which part of the movement is stronger.
Then you said there's a bear market in 2022, and the bear market bottoms at a $10,000 to $20,000 Bitcoin.
Yes, that is
Holy shit.
my point. Yeah. Of course.
I'm on the beach.
Funny thing is, well, there is I think I was explaining to you like over the dinner as well, that there's a thing that is called saliency. We as people tend to undergo emotional like processes, phenomena in our mindsets, in our head. And what happens is, we tend to distort our perception. We do not see reality the way it is when we are under impact and influence of emotions, extremely like severe emotions, be it greed and fear. So right now, people, would always, the higher the market goes, people, the more certain people would be that the market is never going to crash. Okay, but simply the more wrong they are, the wronger they are. So this is called saliency. It's like because something does not happen, like hasn't happened in the past couple of months, people expect that it's never going to happen. It's like you have a flood, in Miami or Florida, anywhere else, and you just simply don't want to buy, flood insurance because the flood hasn't happened in the past couple of years. But it does not mean that it actually will not ever happen. So people never expect corrections when the market pumps hard, and people never expect bounces back whenever Bitcoin dumps hard. So this is going to have a lot of these signals, market peak signals, and my favorite one is NUPL crossing past 0.75. Net unrealized profit and loss crossing past 75. A 0.75 is going to be the time and trigger for me to start leaving the market more aggressively. And this is going to take us, Bitcoin has always had 80 to 90% retracements in the bear market. That is exactly the same. Wherever you put the stamp, 80 to 90% is going to be the bottom. That's what I'm going to do.
I don't want to talk about that today. It's a happy day today. I don't want to talk about that today.
It is.
Birb, I want to ask you one more question. We really are running out of time though. Bitcoin dominance is now at 47.6. Where do you see the high of the dominance in this cycle? Where do you see the high of the Bitcoin dominance in the cycle?
I understand that question. I personally believe dominance does not have any causation effect. This is not a futures. You cannot trade it. It just shows you a fact of what happens inside the outcomes, against BTC market. So what is showing you that the Bitcoin is tending right now, it's trending in a way to take the volatility, take the advantage of our altcoins. People are selling the altcoins, they are getting weaker against Bitcoin. So the dominance goes up naturally because the capital transfers more money.
So where will the high be? Where will the high be? Will it get to 50? Will it get to 55? Will it?
Well, because it doesn't have TA doesn't apply in there. You only can apply for the trends. I personally believe, but this is like more of a guess than anything. I wouldn't base my trading on. It's like 55, 63 perhaps dominance. This is it, but it's going to be very temporary. It's going to be very temporary. Next month, perhaps at best.